Hello, my loves. Hello on TikTok. Welcome back to another live. We're going to talk about some thoughts I've been having around people pleasing. I have been making a few pieces of content over on my Instagram, so definitely go have a look. Same username at just Pinili. Just around what I see a lot of high achieving women. That's who I coach, that's who I mentor. What I see a lot of high achieving women struggle with when it comes to changing their life, when it comes to creating change, sustaining change, to creating fulfillment in their life is they are bound by people pleasing a lot of the times, people pleasing tendencies, having to be validated by the external opinions of others, or allowing the opinions of others and the judgment of others to validate them. So unless someone else's opinion, even if someone else's opinion doesn't match up to their own, what I see high achieving women do is they will listen to the other person's opinion and allow that to dictate their own choices and their own options in life. Definitely let me know if you're watching this live now. Hello. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments if this is something you struggle with, because I will more than likely also do a podcast episode around this and more content, but there's more on my Instagram. But something I read about today, which I wanted to share in this live. If this is what you're feeling like you're very ambitious, you are a high achiever. If you're watching this, you have big goals, you have big dreams, you have big desires, you know exactly where you want to go. However, it's like this crippling anxiety. What will my parents think? What will my best friend say? What will my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my wife or my husband say to me if I make this decision? Especially what I see a lot of the time, high achieving women who really want to make a leap into the biggest version, most successful version that they perceive of themselves, is it's quite a big leap. It's quite a big evolution of self. And when you have it's not these like small little you can't really notice. It's normally such a like 180. And so with that, it's like, what is everyone going to say? I know that personally I experienced this over the past few years when I started my business and the person I've become now, and really dimming my light or feeling really scared to share my opinions, to show up online, to show who I really was, because I had a fear of what my friends were going to say or what they were going to think of me because I had changed so much. So, what do we do and where do we start when it comes to this? Especially if we have big dreams and desires and it feels like we're not getting anywhere, or it's like, I'm not going to take the leap to go traveling solo, or I'm not going to quit that job and start a business. Like, what will my friends say? What will my parents say when they expect me to be a lawyer, not start this coaching business, whatever it is? The first thing that I want you to do that most people actually skip is like, the advice that's like, just fake it till you make it, like act confident and no one will question it. There is basis to that, right? There's part of that is about reprogramming your subconscious mind. But I think we instead need to look at first as the foundation of like getting really curious of why we are the way we are. Why do we take to heart people's opinions? Why do we only do things if it's approved externally? Why are we always seeking the external validation? This requires a lot of self reflection. I've done on this channel a few pieces of videos on self reflection. You'll be able to find them. But what I will add on this is self reflection is something that I see missing a lot in high achieving women, but it's one of the most crucial pieces. You can't actually solidify, change, and cement into being a brand new person and actually not caring what people say or how they judge you unless you are actually getting honest with yourself on why you take on board, like take their opinions and their judgments as fact. Unless why you allow their opinion to dictate the choices that you make in your life. Unless you're curious and unless you go into some reflection and understand your patterns and your behaviors and your emotions and your triggers, you know, phase three on my woman mastery framework. So, woman mastery, well, mastery is my mastermind. All of the details are in the show notes below, but I have three phases to it. And in phase three, it's all about regulating to a brand new capacity. So, when you change and then you start to get scared and worried, like, how am I going to maintain this change? Or maybe you've changed for a month and then you start to see yourself self sabotaging. That is what I've created phase three for. So it's all about regulating to that new capacity so we're not self-sabotaging the change. And this is what I see a lot of people is they can pick up the attitude like, I don't care and I'm just gonna fake it till I make it with the confidence. But then slowly that comes undone. And it's because they actually don't really understand where that's coming from. And more onto that is being able to love the triggers, being able to love what people are reflecting back to us. And when you use that and you love that and you can own and you can heal that, it becomes way more effective to your growth as a high achiever than just allowing life to pass you by and allowing for someone else to validate you. So I really like, the first step here is to start to self-reflect on why you were allowing people's judgments, and keep asking, like, why. Like, you listening to this may reject this a little bit because it may be like, that's too simple, or I've done that before. Like, there's two types of awareness that I share with my clients. Number one, self-awareness. Self-awareness is saying, for example, on this topic, I know why I'm a people pleaser because I was always told when I was a little girl that I was a good girl every time I did stuff for other people. So it's embedded into me the belief, if I do stuff for other people, I'm a good girl. And some of you may resonate with that one. That's self-awareness. We want to always shift into a conscious awareness. So it's understanding that, what we picked up, the self-awareness, and then the conscious awareness is how are we interpreting it, of how it affects our life right now and why we keep choosing it. So it's not just like I learned that from childhood. It's like I keep choosing it right now because I have a belief that my partner will love me more, or my mom's finally going to give me the love that I needed back when I was 10, or I will get that promotion at work because I'm going to be more loved, or it teaches me that I'm more worthy. And see, as we keep asking the question why and why and why, we understand ourselves. And something I always say to my client as well, it's not about shaming ourselves, it's not about judging ourselves. We don't want to go into this with judgment. We just want to learn and get really, really freaking curious on why I am the way I am. And when we understand why we do things, and we gravitate towards that awareness when we're interacting with people or when we're making decisions, it's like we have the conscious awareness of what we truly desire, of what this person's projecting onto us as truth, and then actually our conditioning. And when we strongly are rooted in these two things of who you want to be and your conditioning, you can bring them together, and it's almost like a superpower. It overpowers what someone else is saying and dictating to you. And being able to learn how to get super uncomfortable with people disagreeing with you, with people not liking what you have to say, getting super uncomfortable and feeling icky when you tell no to someone, or when someone says, well, this is the right way to do it, you should do it like this, and you disagree. And there being that awkward silence, or there being like, a bit of confrontation. Part of being a people pleaser is not wanting to have confrontation. Confrontation isn't a bad thing, right? It's not about yelling and screaming and, knocking down doors and walls and stuff. It's about being able to confront an issue head on and have a discussion. And so a lot of people avoid that, but then they end up very, very unhappy because they're just going with the flow of other people's opinions and what other people want of them. So really the theme and the essence of what I'm trying to tell you today, and I write more about it in a reel on my Instagram, is start to get really, really curious on exactly who you are when it comes to people pleasing, where that's come from, the self-awareness, but how it is affecting you now. And really what's going to happen, like, keep asking yourself why, and then like, what's going to happen if you keep doing this in a year's time, like, if you, and coming to terms, like, this is another chat, but like the benefits and drawbacks of what happens if I do disappoint my mom and my dad. What happens if I do disappoint my partner? What happens if my friends do make fun of me and judge me and call me stupid, or tell me that I'm weird because, I've taken up pottery. I don't know. It's like, what are the judgments that are coming up that we think are going to happen, the worst case scenario, and learning how to neutralize that. I also teach that in the mastermind. So I hope this has given a little bit of an insight. Let me just see if there's any questions over here. Thank you for everyone joining. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next live. Bye.